Ahead on American Sunrise, Charlie Kirk is the latest recipient of the country's highest civilian honor. We'll have reaction from the award ceremony at the White House throughout the show. Plus,
if the Democrats want to go to court and challenge troops being paid, bring it, okay?
House Speaker Mike Johnson dares Democrats to go to court if they want to stop troops from getting paid during the current government shutdown. Missouri Congressman Mark Alford weighs in and offers inside information on where negotiations to reopen government agencies stand. And in light of President Trump brokering the peace deal between Israel and Hamas, is Russia now more open to making a deal to end the war with Ukraine? Those stories and so much more right now on American Sunrise.
Good morning, America.
Welcome to American Sunrise.
Whether it's culture,
We have breaking news to share with you.
politics,
President Trump is joining us live now from Florida.
we've got you covered.
This is what it looks like to be a patriot.
We have to protect the American family.
The American dream is still alive.
I'm David Brody.
I'm Terrence.
And I'm Dr. Gina. Good morning. I'm Dr. Gina. We are live with you from the Palm Beaches. Let's bring in David Brody. He's in Washington, D.C., and Terrence Bates is in our Denver newsroom. Good morning, guys. I want to ask you, like, every single morning about the fall because I miss the fall. I got to see it in Pennsylvania this weekend, the little yellow leaves falling off the trees. I'm so jealous of that. I can't believe how much I miss it.
It's my favorite season. My favorite season.
I like the aesthetics of the fall, but I don't like the work that comes with. And here's the thing, Doctor. I swear to God, I thought of you yesterday. So Tamara, my wife, was like, "Hey, I'm buying us a tree, and I'm going to plant a tree because there's not enough shade in our front yard, and it's killing our grass in the summertime. I'm going to plant a tree." And I was just like, that just means it's more leaves for me to rake this summer.
I'm going to come help you
And
rake
you know,
those
I can't
leaves.
say no. I can't say no because that was going to be a whole different conversation that I didn't feel like having. But in my mind, I was like, this is just more work for me in the long run. Anyway, good morning, you guys.
Evergreen. Get an evergreen tree. You live in Colorado. They don't drop leaves.
Is that true? Okay,
Problem solved.
I'll have to talk to her about that. But she's already purchased the one tree, so that might make another one. Anyway, guys, let's talk about Charlie Kirk. Obviously being conferred the Presidential Medal of Freedom at the White House yesterday. Huge ceremony. His wife, Erica, accepted the award on his behalf. And here's some of what President Trump had to say during that ceremony.
1 month after Charlie's death, we still feel the terrible shock and the pain of his loss, like just about nobody I can think of. Charlie Kirk was one of a kind. He was unstoppable, and he really was. Boy, when he had an idea in his head, he would call me, "Sir, please, you haven't done it yet." I said, "Charlie, relax. Just relax." He didn't relax. He'd call me the next day again. It got it done. But he was like indomitable and always will be. He's really irreplaceable. Nobody can replace him. But they're going to do great. But you can't replace that kind of person and that kind of talent, frankly. The word talent is an important word, but that kind of talent. So we hold his memory in our hearts forever. Every single day of this administration, we will continue to carry out the mission for which he lived, and he really did. He lived for this country. He lived for his wife and his family, but he lived for this country, too.
Gina and David, it's still somewhat surreal that Charlie's not with us. I mean, these sorts of reminders that we get, with these sorts of ceremonies, but it's still kind of surreal that he's not with us, Gina.
Yeah, I had such a special experience last night. James O'Keefe hosted a Charlie Kirk birthday party here in Palm Beach, and I was able to go with my family. And, we all stood up one at a time and kind of told our stories about Charlie, whatever, and then had some cake in his honor. And anyway, the question that I asked when I stood up and gave my little 2 cents about Charlie, I said, how many of you, I'm just curious, were conservatives before, but never owned a Bible or hadn't opened the Bible you owned, and Charlie's assassination changed that for you? You guys, this is not an exaggeration. I am not lying. About half of the room raised their hand. Now, This is among conservative, Christian, right? Impassioned patriots. And if those are the numbers in that group, imagine what the numbers are. No pastor, no teacher, no newscaster, no book writer, no anyone has ever had that sort of impact except Jesus Christ himself. I just didn't realize the numbers were that staggering, David.
Yeah, look, I was having dinner last night with Pastor Lucas Miles, who is running TPUSA Faith. We had dinner in the district last night, and he was telling me how much the whole landscape has changed in terms of not just TPUSA chapters, but specifically churches, and how many more churches are now on board in the TPUSA movement. It is just off the charts. And, you know, President Trump last night called Charlie a martyr for truth and freedom, and nothing could be further from the truth. I mean, nothing could be truer, nothing could be truer than that, for sure. You know, when does closure ever happen? I don't know if closure ever really happens in something like this, but yesterday's event, as we're seeing there, was one of the guideposts to closure. I think that was an important step as we all, in our own different ways, move towards closure. Once again, to be clear, there won't ever be real closure, but we will take steps as time goes on. And Charlie would want us to move on in righteousness.
And move on in action. I think Charlie would be very
go
clear.
hand in hand.
Yes,
hand in hand.
Move on in action. All right, let's check out today's Bible verse. Matthew 28:20 it is. Teaching them to observe all the things that I have commanded you, and lo, I am with you always, even to the end of the age. I love that one. What is it about that one that is so reassuring? I don't even know, but I love it so much. All right, let's bring in Missouri Congressman Mark Alford. Congressman, it's been a lot of emotion over the last few weeks. Our world has changed. How are you? Are you seeing any changes in your colleagues? Because I think, boy, if anybody needs Jesus, it's Congress.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, I didn't mean you.
No, that's all right. I'm going to come down front.
Dr. Tina, I have to applaud that. I love it. Yes. Y'all need Jesus.
You know I didn't mean you.
I will tell you guys, I don't know if you realize this, Mike Johnson is an incredible man of integrity, man of faith, incredible leader. And I'm honored to be in a prayer group that he has every fly-out day in his conference room. There's about 12, 13 of us in there. And we pray over him. We pray over President Trump. We pray for our body, and not just the Republicans, but our entire body. And so when you see men and women of faith, I mean, there are Bible studies all the time in Congress. I'm involved in 2. We rotate offices for members to do this. There's the National Prayer Group meets there in the Capitol. So Jesus is alive and well on Capitol Hill. It's just getting that message out and doing what Charlie Kirk did. And I think this is really a reminder for us all, especially in this heated time during the shutdown. We're at day 15, is let's debate the issues. Let's not rip each other apart. And I've been kind of guilty of that. I mean, you know, you can name call, but we also have to educate the American people about the realities of what's going on without denigrating another human being. And that's tough to do in Congress. There's a lot of heated moments, even on the House floor, and we've lost our decorum. I think both sides, I think the Democrats a little more so than the Republicans, but we've got to return the respect for one another, the love of Jesus Christ, the grace of Jesus Christ, these things that Charlie Kirk embodied when he engaged in rational debate with others with whom he disagreed. It was always done out of respect. And I want to help bring that back to Congress.
That's phenomenal. I'm glad you're praying over the body there. I'm praying over my body, and it's not working, just so you know. All right, let's move on. The government shutdown now entering its 3rd week. House Speaker Mike Johnson says if Democrats want to challenge President Trump on using other money at the Pentagon to pay service members, then they can bring it, as he said. Take a look.
Look, my understanding of this is they have every right to move the funds around, duly appropriated dollars from Congress to the Department of Defense. There were some R&D accounts that had not been spent, and that's my understanding is that's the money that's being used to pay the troops right now. If the Democrats want to go to court and challenge troops being paid, bring it, okay? I'm grateful for a commander-in-chief who understands the priorities of the country, the necessity of national defense, and the urgency that we all feel and have voted for 8 times. Republicans have voted in Congress 8 times now between House and Senate to fund the troops and pay federal workers in all these essential jobs and agencies because we understand the necessity of that. Meanwhile, the Democrats voted 8 times to block their paychecks. I'm grateful we have a president who is willing to step up and do the right thing. Thank you all so much.
And Congressman, we're talking about that today because today's Wednesday, October 15th, which of course is payday for military members. I'm curious to get your thoughts.
Yeah, well, it's day 15. America held hostage by the Schumer shutdown, and the Democrats have no leverage points. They keep saying, well, come back to Congress and negotiate. We're not negotiating. There's nothing to negotiate. You know, with 3 different things now, President Trump and Speaker Johnson, I think, have proved successful in holding firm on where we are, doing the right thing with a simple extension of our appropriations process. Women's, infants, and children, that program was going to run out of money, and President Trump found money through the Office of Management and Budget to fund that, to make sure that hungry women and their children don't go hungry because of the Schumer shutdown. Our soybean farmers who've been suffering because of the China situation and them refusing to buy our soybeans right now. President Trump is going to offset those losses through what's called the Commodity Credit Corporation through the U.S. Department of Agriculture and help them in this time until we get these tariffs straight. Now, we brought in a lot of tariff money. In fact, he's using, I think, $30 billion of this tariff money to kind of restock the Commodity Credit Corporation to help out farmers. And now the last bit of leverage that the Democrats have had is this troop pay. They don't want to see the troops paid because they want to inflict pain on the American people. And because of that pain, they're thinking there's going to be a large outcry and people siding with them. It's not going to happen. President Trump found the money to pay our troops, and it's going to happen. And there's not going to be that pain, thank goodness, as we're trying to improve the quality of life. Some of our troops here at Fort Leonard Wood in our district and at Whiteman Air Force Base qualify to be on food stamps. That's wrong. That's why we gave them a huge raise in the One Big Beautiful Bill, which the Democrats want to strip away. It's crazy.
It's wrong, as you said. Really quickly, as we continue with this government shutdown, what are your thoughts? Will we get through this before, let's say, November 21st, which is when the continuing resolution was set to take effect? Or is it going to be 2 days before and then we go back into another government shutdown 2 days later because no deal has been reached and the negotiations are at a stalemate yet again? I'm sorry to be negative, Nancy, but that's kind of how I see it.
Terrence, you're absolutely right. And we've had discussions with the speaker on this. I think there's some contingency plans in the work. What are we going to do? We've got to get back and finish our jobs, but only after the government reopens. We've gotten all 12 appropriation bills out of committee. That was hard work. I wish you guys could have been there, and the time and the energy it took to fend off the Democrats on some of these woke progressive ideas they wanted to stick back in the federal government as we continue to make cuts in every department except Department of Defense, Homeland Security, and military construction, VA. We are making the cuts. We're getting back to regular order. They're standing in our way. We are out every day. I'm about to leave again to go visit some more rural hospitals. The Democrats are trying to take away this $50 billion, the Rural Health Transformation Fund, where we're helping our rural hospitals stay open and meet some of the challenges they face as we kick people off of Medicaid who never should have been there in the first place. And yes, including illegal aliens, which they deny that's happening. It has happened, and they want them back. We're doing our job. I think my wife is getting a little sick of me being at home. So maybe she can go talk to Chuck Schumer and say, Mr. Schumer, tear down this wall.
How many days has it been, Congressman?
It's day 15.
Day 15.
Yeah.
So if our government can shut down for 15 days and you walk out on that street right now and your average person has felt nothing, and if they even know it happened.
Exactly.
Maybe we know where to cut.
That's exactly right.
That's Gina's 2 cents. I started out as not strong as I finished, didn't I? All right, Congressman Alford, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. And by the way, Terrence, you were rocking the Ascot today, my man.
Yeah, rocks the Ascot.
That is beautiful.
Correct.
I need a yellow one, though.
Thank you.
Colors.
Tried something a little different today.
I love it. Thurston Howe III. Take care.
You just dated yourself. Thank you, Congressman.
Best show.
All right.
Thank you so much.
All right, coming up, we're going to check out the hottest headlines from the Rap Newsroom with T. Bates in the Ascot with a pink on it. So stay with us.